Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so today's video is going to be about my very first signs and symptoms having fibromyalgia. What I want to say before we start is, if you have any signs or any symptoms your body is changing, just don't be afraid to go and speak to a healthcare provider, GP, doctor, etc. Especially us men, I know that we have the thing about, oh, I'll be okay tomorrow, or don't really want to speak to someone. Just go and speak to someone, just get it checked, and you just have to go and get that peace of mind. Okay, I also want to say that any of the signs and symptoms that I say that I have felt, other people may have felt different signs and symptoms. And I also want to add to that if you are feeling these signs and symptoms that I'm talking about, that I had, don't just put these signs and symptoms down to fibromyalgia, because these signs and symptoms can also be something more sinister. So a lot of symptoms from fibromyalgia actually are the same symptoms as many horrible conditions, life-threatening conditions, etc., etc. So don't just think, oh, I've got fibromyalgia, I know there's no cure to fibromyalgia, there's not much help for it, I'm just going to carry on with my life. No, please don't just listen to what I'm saying. Go and get yourself checked out and have a bit of peace of mind. But first off, before I go into what signs and symptoms I had, I want to say that my signs and symptoms, or my symptoms, started literally within a couple of days, a couple of weeks of my brother's passing. So in my head, I was so muddled up to what was going on, because I just put it down to me being stressed, or to me just not feeling myself, or just the impact of trauma. I was going through sorting out the funeral with my sister. I was going to speak and liaise with the funeral directors, with the graveyard, with the church, all of those things that come with it. Also worrying about my parents, worrying about my siblings, just all of those things in my head. I started to feel a bit weird within myself, first off. And then I would say that within, like I say, no more than 2 weeks, I started to feel a bit lethargic. I started to feel very fatigued, very tired, but not in a tired sense. It was just so fatigued, I felt like I couldn't do anything. And I remember actually being at work, and I was walking up some stairs, and I've always been physically fit, always played football and gym, and I couldn't lift my legs. I just couldn't. They just felt like they was attached to my body, but they felt like they weighed a ton, and I was just so fatigued. It's a different feeling than saying you're tired. They was just so heavy. So that was one of the first symptoms, just not feeling right and feeling fatigued. And the pain started at around the same time. So I remember the pain was where it is now. The pain has spread now, but the pain first started in my neck. Pain first started in my neck, and it was just a pain that felt like it could be clicked out or adjusted out. But no matter what I did, I couldn't relieve the pain. And the pain was just there 24/7. I noticed over the coming weeks, obviously what I now know to be flares, the pain would get worse and the fatigue would get worse. So my very first 2 symptoms, I would say, if I can remember correctly, it would be fatigue and would be pain. Main 2 pains, and they're the main 2 pains that kind of get to me the most now. I remember after a few weeks or a few months, the next symptom I had was anxiety. I'd say, let me go back a little bit, and I'd go as far as to say that I probably had more symptoms earlier that I didn't realize were symptoms, because as you go on with your life with fibromyalgia, you kind of start to discover that you've had these things and they are symptoms of fibromyalgia, like itchy skin, dizziness, like blurred vision, IBS, and you might just put it down to a moment in time and you not realize that they're actually a symptom of what you have. So I would say, that my main, the next main one was anxiety, which I realized was a symptom. But then I didn't know it was a symptom of fibromyalgia because I never knew what fibromyalgia was. So we have pain, fatigue, and then the anxiety set in. So they were my three first symptoms, and they were my three main symptoms. I'd always say that they're my main symptoms, and my other symptoms are just a byproduct of what I've got. So yeah, the anxiety set in, and when the anxiety set in, I thought it was just me coming to terms, or not, wrong choice of words, not coming to terms with my brother's passing, but just coming out. So I hadn't grieved, and I felt like maybe I'm just going through the grieving process now. The anxiety was kicking in. I was feeling low mood. I was feeling anxious. I was always feeling like crying. So yeah, I just thought maybe it's something to do with my brother's death. I never realized it was something to do with fibromyalgia. So yeah, guys, they were my three main first symptoms. And then obviously I had more symptoms. So guys, like I say, I'm going to go into a little series on fibromyalgia. I want to bring awareness to fibromyalgia, and my next video will probably be what I done when I first got my first symptoms and the process of getting diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which was a very, very long process. So I won't go into it now. I just wanted to come on here, let you guys know what kind of symptoms and signs I had. And guys, that is going to be the end of the video. If you like what you see, or you want to just help this channel grow so we can spread awareness, please click the thumbs up button, or even comment down below what was your first signs or symptoms of fibromyalgia. Guys, I hope you're having a great day, a low pain day, and I hope your fibro flare-ups are at bay.